I heard an incredible statistic the other day. According to a recent study, a large percentage of overweight people claimed they were afraid to change their habits because it would upset their spouse. Even though their health was in danger, they hesitated in making a positive change. They felt that if they lost weight, their spouse would feel bad about their own health challenges. This kind of thinking completely shocked me. I couldn't help but ask myself, why are we bending over backwards trying to please other people in our lives rather than helping ourselves? Making choices in the name of your own health should be a no-brainer. So why do we continue to try and please others when we need help the most? What is your argument? I recently read an article by a fellow self-help enthusiast named Jared Wilson that addressed this very issue. He asked two very important questions. Number one, how many of us have failed to pursue our dreams because we are too caught up in the people might think? Number two, how many of us have stopped just because crossing the finish line because we didn't want people to be upset that we finished before them? I've experienced this kind of toxic thinking many times before. It's almost as if my mind is stuck in a dog puddle, never to move forward. For me, it was easy. I wanted the people I love in my life to feel good, but oftentimes I didn't realize that I was making dangerous sacrifice to myself in order to do so. What are you persuading them to do? In order to break out of the constant cycle of trying to please others, we must become aware of where the pattern starts. According to the book, Anxious to Please, this is called awareness practice. It includes attention to thoughts, feeling, body, and behavior. When I was trying to please people in my life, like my family or my work colleague, I felt anxious. The back of my neck would warm up and my mind would race in a panicked state. I would often attribute this to the external force or simply write it off that I was coming down with illness. I was completely in denial of what I was doing. I wasn't practicing awareness because blaming it on something else felt better in the moment. What myth are you trying to reframe? What is it? Often we believe that putting people before ourselves make us the nice guy. But we are not being the nice guy, but by bending over backwards for others' approval, we are giving too much of ourselves. These actions could have long-term effects on our mental and physical health. Through fatigue or obesity, we don't want to stop and think about what consequences our actions are having because it's easier to just plow through. Another great quote from anxious people is, nice people may not always look anxious, but they always are. When we put the pressure of pleasing others constantly in our focus, it becomes our whole being. We lose ourselves to it, and in turn, develop anxiety over maintaining it. What a framework can I follow when I'm frustrated? I've developed a simple system for dealing with this anxiety that has worked for me every time. Number one, no means no. Saying no more in our lives doesn't necessarily mean limiting our experience. Saying no means that we are hand-picking a life experience that better suits our mental and physical health. For me, saying no is taking back control of what we want to allow into our lives. I found that by doing this, I remain healthy in my mind and body. Number 2, say your worth. Saying the words "I'm worth it" has an incredible impact on our mental health. Simple words of encouragement like this release dopamine in our brains, making us feel happier and more confident in our actions. For me, it was easy to lose sight of my worth compared to others. I always want to practice a degree of selflessness, but it's important to remember where to draw the line. Number 3, acceptance. I really love the proverb, "I accept the things I cannot change." This is something used in lots of self-help groups like AA, Alcohol Anonymous. Accept that we cannot control the ways of the world. We cannot control how others perceive us. The only thing that we control is ourselves and our reaction to the world. Thank you and take care of yourself.